Are you ready for a good chat? Go on and tune in to the Go On Then podcast. It's your place to go with your host, David GSA Wrestling, and co-host, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
And welcome to the first episode of the Go On Then podcast with me, David GSA Wrestling.
And me, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
And we'll start with the easy question. How did we come up with the podcast name?
Well, it was just rather simple, really. We thought, should we do a podcast? And then we each of us thought, yeah, let's do it. Let's go on then. And it's literally simple as that.
Yeah, and then we came up with the music. We came up with it. Literally, it's been do you know what? It's been a good combination because me and Ryan work well together, as in general, just really work well together, and we get on really well. It was dead easy. Just for I came up with ideas. I sent them over to Ryan. Ryan double checked, and Ryan was like, "Yep, approved," and that's what's going to happen with the podcast. It's going to be approving.
It's going to be a fairly casual thing. I think we mentioned it'll start properly in September, which is when this first episode should come out.
Well, next Friday.
Yeah.
Should be out next Friday on the 3rd of September. All being good and the editing getting done quite quick. Should be Gucci. What happened with the Infinity podcast? Do you want to start it or do you want me to start it?
Well, it's just going to be about as short as it was when we tried to explain it in the first try on the recording of this.
Yeah, I apologise in advance. I fucked the audio up the first time. I tried to blame Ryan, and then found out it was my end, so yeah. I hold my hands up.
Essentially, it just didn't work and there's too many chefs, if you know that saying. There's too many people involved and not enough ideas that just happened.
Well, I'll fill it in from my perspective. It was me who clashed with another member. It wasn't down to the other boys. I thought we was approaching it the way it needed to be done. Yeah, it could have been worked on, and looking at it now, I could do it better. But back then, my editing skills wasn't as good as they are now. And I feel like I've took my editing to the next level, and that's where this podcast is going to be at the level I'm at, and then hopefully gets better over time. And obviously, we've got a couple of guests coming on. We've got to this podcast. We've got other stuff that we want to do, and yeah, hopefully the Infinity podcast. I'm not going to say any names, but they know who clashed with who, and yeah,
there's no hard feelings or anything.
No. Well, to be honest, I've not spoken to the person since the argument, and I don't think plan to speak to him after the... It's me. I had a massive row, and then they tried to bring someone else in, and I seen them bring someone else in, and I thought, do you know what? They're going to smash it out the park. It's going to be really good, and then I'm going to have to come in as a guest at some point, maybe not with the person I'm arguing with, but it just never went anywhere. The three things that are on there is the first one we did together. The second one we did together, and we had to get people to actually fucking voicemail, and that was a pain. I tried to get people to voice note pics over to us was a nightmare, and then I was like, we've got to try and get 6 of us on a podcast and get it edited, and someone wanted to take it a different approach, and have special effects aside, but I'm like, it's a podcast, it's not meant to have special effects, it's meant to have just a chat, and maybe a few images, and maybe just fix it, you know what I mean? I feel like he wanted it to be like a show rather than a podcast, and I'm like, bro, it's a podcast, you know what I mean? It's not meant to be epically fucking. It's meant to be a conversation between certain people, and that collaboration of people talking, not it was he wanted to be next Sideman. That's the way I seen it, you know what I mean? But that was my own.
See where you're coming from.
That's how it felt like. It felt like we was enjoying having the conversation. I feel like he wasn't listening to conversation. He was looking at the graphics and going, "That's not good enough because that's not edited well." You know what I mean? And maybe that's what it was. But we'll start with the next question because the Infinity podcast is done. We'll go with, how's life been through COVID?
Well, for myself, I got married.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It wasn't maybe like we might have liked it to have been, but it already got delayed 1 year, so we were just wanting to be having it and just enjoy the day. And yeah, it was lovely. What about yourself?
To be honest, mate, life's not changed that much. The only downside is obviously I was planning to go and see you for the wedding. I was planning to go and see my mum over Christmas. That didn't happen because of COVID. I don't think it'll happen this year, but that's personal reasons. That obviously Ryan sort of knows, but I'm not going to bring up on a podcast. I feel like there's not been a lot of change. I'm getting my second jab in like a month's time, and there's not really a lot to do. Like even without COVID, there wasn't a lot I was doing at the time. You know what I mean? So to be honest, it's not really affecting me. It's just helped me really focus on doing the channel. And when I've not been able to go out and do shit and see me nan and stuff, I've just gone to editing. Do you know what I mean? I did like 3 months of editing back to back and stuff like that. So I know you've been working, and I know you've had a pain in the ass with working over COVID.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just the thing is, life's never going to be the same. I feel like it's bullshit what the government's doing. I feel like if we had a problem at work and we'd done something wrong, it would be investigated straight away, and you'd be on fire in like not 2 years down the line. Because like people ain't gonna care 2 years down the line, because like at that point Boris is gonna be for re-election. The likelihood of Boris getting re-elected is very shortly lived, and I feel like it's not gonna resolve anything really. But I feel like the government could have angled it a little bit better, and maybe not tried to pull the wool over our eyes, thinking we're stupid. Maybe.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
I feel like when he was saying at the start of this pandemic, or we're ready for the pandemic, it's going to be, we're sorted, we've got everything we need. It was utter shite, because we wasn't ready, and that's how we lost so many people down the line.
Yeah, it was not anywhere near as organised as he was telling us it was.
Oh no, we've got plenty of masks, you didn't have enough. We're not going to be inside that long, we end up coming back inside. Like, we've been in lockdown for, like, in America it doesn't sound as bad, but you've died, more people have died over there. But like, for like a year technically we was in lockdown. You know what I mean? You take out the couple of months we could go out, we've literally like been inside a year. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. We've
all turned into antisocial people. You get like, when Americans come over and they're happy and lardy, we're gonna be like, yo bro, shut up. Like, we're gonna be so antisocial, it's gonna be unreal. Like, it's bad because like obviously I wouldn't say I'm antisocial, but like I just generally don't like talking to people. But that's personally, I don't like talking to people. But yeah, I feel like it's probably made it worse for some people, that they just don't want to talk to people in general. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in next year. The next year is going to be the critical thing. If we go back in lockdown, it's done. If we go back in lockdown before Christmas, we're done. Because the same with spiking again and stuff like that. So.
It just seems like there's one problem after another, and then it just goes back. And that's another thing that you mentioned the other day as well. That you get people that just get away with things, and Boris just lets them off for whatever reason.
Oh no, my mate got away with going. Like, I brought the this. Oh, we was on about COVID rules. That's what we said about. I brought the COVID rules like 4 or 5 times, maybe at a push. I didn't break it with me nan because my nan was technically part of my bubble because I was taking care of me nan, so that doesn't count. There was 2 people I met up with, and I probably broke it about 3 or 4 times over the. But it wasn't like I was going to a party. I met with one person, and then was self-isolated for enough time to say like, if I had COVID, it wouldn't have mattered because I would have been isolated. And if they, you know what I mean. So I don't get where people go into house parties and stuff like that. I don't know if you went to any house parties.
No, not particularly.
No, I sort of. The thing is, you stick to as much as you can, don't you? But like, there's obviously times you have to break it. You know what I mean? Like you said about going to the shop. You know what I mean? If you get a bottle of pop, you feel like you're gonna get arrested. Like, it does, like, you cough slightly, and like it's like a fucking SWAT team going like round you. It's mental. I love it. It's the craziest thing we've ever dealt with. There's one thing though, we're going to be in the history books.
Oh yeah, totally understandable that one. Yeah.
I can't wait for like say Ryan has kids and I have kids. I can't wait till we're like 60 and like at that point they've probably got kids and they'll be like, "What's this COVID?" And I'll be like, "Sit down, we will tell you about the COVID." Because you know that conversation is going to happen. Like, how did you survive through COVID? Well, we invented this thing. It's called a mobile. Because at that point, it's going to be touchscreen. The thing is, you think in 30 years, a mobile probably is going to be dead. Like, there probably won't be mobiles. It'll probably attach to your wrist. And it'll be like a little pop-out, you know what I mean? Or some shit. You don't know what's going to happen next year. Like, no. I've heard some point that they might get rid of bank cards and you might just have a chip in your arm and you know, chip and pin it with your hand. I've heard all that crap. I'm like, that's just hilarious. I might you have to shove your hand into a fucking thing, into a cash machine to get cash out. Unless you
Imagine
boll
how
it.
much easier that would be to nick off people.
No, but yeah, just chop their arm off. Scan. No, but like, if I feel like at some point we might end up getting rid of money. I don't think money. I feel like we're going into like with chip and pin. You've got like chip and pin, then you've got contactless free. Like I feel like we're going the way where we might not need money in the future. Everything will just be paid. You know, like by your hand or by card or something. It's just the way it's looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at cryptocurrency and the big flop they had, but like at least it's a new fucking thing to try. You know what I mean? So, have you got anything else to talk about with COVID?
Not particularly. Like I say, it'd be nice once it's all under control. Because I wouldn't say, even though some people think it is now, I wouldn't say it's under control now. To be honest, still loads of cases.
I want to go away, but like I'm on about going like next year because like I want to go. Like I didn't do anything for my 30th, and I was quite peeved because like my 30th happened in the middle of COVID, so I didn't do anything. Like your 30th might be like your next big milestone, innit? You go 21, then it's 30 because then you're like hitting like you're going into later life, aren't you? Technically, and then your next one after that's 50, innit? It's like you know what they're like the big 50s, and like my 30th, I literally had. I went up to my nan and granddad, even though technically I wasn't allowed to, because I wasn't allowed to meet with people in a freaking in a house. And I was like, well, I've seen my nan all the way through the first lockdown, so do you know what I mean? I was helping them out with shopping, and technically I'm a carer, so I get away with it. You know what I mean? So I went up, had a few beers with my granddad, came back, watched Free Willy 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then went to bed. That was my birthday rolled up in one.
Well,
I watched Free Willy and fucking. I know, it was amazing. My 30th was cracking. But like, I was thinking like next year, because obviously my 31st I'm not really asked. Next year maybe I might go away. Maybe just have a little trip at myself.
yeah, sounds good.
I might Wales maybe. Book a caravan. Take dog with me if dog's still here. And then maybe invite friends. I don't know. I'll weigh it up when I go around. Could be a good invite. It could be a good thingy for you. Present from me to you. Let you come down for a free weekend. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't feel like we're out of COVID. As much as people are like we're out of COVID, it's amazing. I don't feel like we're out of COVID. I feel like we're still in the middle of fucking COVID. You know what I mean? Like everybody's celebrating, like I'm so excited. Like they're coming out. I was like, I just don't feel like. I don't feel like it is. I feel like there's another hill we need to get over, and then maybe it might be over. But like, for people to be like, I'm not gonna get vaccinated is stupid.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't gonna get vaccinated until like it'd been tried and tested, and like there's been a few people doing it, and I was like, when it got to like, I think it got down to the 18, like the 20-year-olds. But the funny thing is, did you get the text, or did you get a phone call?
I got a text, I think.
But I got a text, and it was like, oh, you can do your COVID. Anyway, over 40s. I'm like, have you checked your database? I'm pretty sure I'm not over fucking 40. Do you know what I mean? Like, the fuck? So I had to wait, and then, like, I forgot about it. Because, like, obviously, when they don't... I was like, I forgot about it. I was like... And then I looked here, like, oh, it's under 25, so I've got to go and get my fucking jab. So I got my first one July, and I'm getting my second one September. Yeah. So I'll be all vaccinated by September, going into October. Because the thing is, like... If you want to go to, I don't go out drinking, so it doesn't bother me. You know when they're like, oh, you need 2 jabs to go into a pub. I generally don't care. I don't go out there after have a drink. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not like, you know what I mean? So maybe it's my age catching up. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's it for the first one. What do you think? Anything you want to
add? No, I think like we say, the first one was always going to be a lot simple.
Yeah, it's going to be short and sweet, pretty much. The only reason it's short and sweet is there's not really a lot to dig into. Like, it was basically the podcast names that obviously we came up together. It was like Ryan said one name, I said another name, and then we mashed them together, and that's how it came around. The Infinity podcast, we covered that, and COVID we covered. So we're all good for the first one.
I think a little thing that we could add on to the end here is what sort of things can people expect from the podcast?
All right, once a week. We're trying for once a week. Obviously, there might be a bit of a delay. If there's a delay, we'll try and like post a video if it said we're going to be delayed. Maybe it's editing, or maybe we've had a problem with the recording or whatever. We'll obviously post that out and say like we've had a problem. And if you've not followed us on Twitter, that's probably where we'll post it. Most likely. If it Twitter, or do you think we'll do a video? Probably Twitter. We'll tweet it out. So we've had a problem with the podcast.
Yeah, or we'll do a very short, couple of minute video, and then tweet that as well for anyone that doesn't know the YouTube channel straight away.
Yeah. Because we've obviously got Twitter. That it's obviously at the end of the end video. I don't think there's. Oh, and obviously we got the first couple of weeks are really covering games, movies. What else was we covering it first couple of weeks?
I think we're going to do a quick segment on wrestling.
WWE and wrestling, yeah. Oh, that's what we was going to do. CM Punk. It's the only one. It's the only thing we want to touch about WWE and AEW because Ryan never gets excited about wrestling that often now. When Ryan texts me and I'm asleep and I wake up at morning, it says, "Just watch this video." I watched the video. I was like, "Oh, big surprise!" But I sort of you heard the rumors, but until it actually happens. There's rumours that the Fiend's going there, and obviously Daniel Bryan, but we'll talk about that because probably by the time we get to that podcast, it'll probably be around about happening. It was weird to see CM Punk in AEW after so many years of not wrestling.
It was just nice to see people happy about wrestling again.
Yeah, it was. Didn't they say they had a spike? No, did you hear the things people were saying online about the ice cream bars? Did you when he said he'd give a free ice cream bar to anybody who was there?
Yeah.
And then someone was like, I was there, so I don't get an ice cream bar. I was like, buy a fucking ice cream bar. He said everybody was in the he did say everybody was in the stadium. He did say everybody around the world order a free ice cream bar on me.
Yeah, he said it was specially made and everything. It was only for people that were there.
Oh no, they did it. They did one for the town as well of Chicago.
Oh right.
Yeah, there was actually you could actually buy them in Chicago as well. The ice cream bar. It was customised for it, but they also sold them for people who wasn't going to the event as well. I read it up online.
If that was definitely the case, then that's not all that bad there. To be fair, that's a little cool thing that you could.
He actually paid for it, by the way. CM Punk actually paid for all the ice cream bars.
Yeah.
He actually wrote a check for it. Fair dues to that guy. Fair dues.
He didn't have to do that at all.
No. It was something he came up with himself. Do you know what I mean? He was going to give everybody a free ice cream bar. Yo, I feel like he was so hyped for being in it because, he said, it was coming back to professional wrestling, and for him, it was going from WWE to AEW was a long process. But apparently, it was 2 years in the making, that contract deal. But they wanted to save it for when he actually, because it was a big return, they wanted to save it till he was actually a live crowd back in the stadium. Or
they wanted it to be a big sort of spectacle thing.
They couldn't have done it any better though. They put him in the town he was born. He was always going to get a pop anyway, but he's going to get 10 times worse at friggin' where he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, they put it on the opening segment. I didn't see that coming at all.
No. Literally, the first thing he kicked off CM Punk. Usually this, but the crowd was even the thing is, if they hadn't let CM Punk come straight out, that's all that would have been shouted on. From the start to the end when he came out, it would have been CM Punk. So they probably did the right thing. It was when The Rock phoned him in WWE, when he was doing the page thing. And he kept, because it was AJ Lee, and he kept going, CM Punk, and then Rock phoned him. I bet you Rock got ripped a new arsehole for that.
Yeah, I bet it's The Rock, so.
Yeah, they couldn't do a lot, it's quite funny. But yeah, we'll talk about some other people's returns in another podcast, because in the WWE podcast, because there was obviously 2 big returns at SummerSlam, but we wanted to touch CM Punk because we're glad he's back. And it's nice to see him in the ring again. Like he said he'd never do, so it's always nice. He looks old though. I'm sorry, but I'll throw it out there. He looks so old in comparison to his eyes just look fucked. But I'll take it. But yeah, I think
that's what 7 years does to you, though. I suppose
7 years to beat up in a false drug test. But no, we'll talk about it more in the AEW subject and WWE subject. But yeah, it was nice to just welcome CM Punk back to wrestling, and let's see what he does next, because I can't wait to see his first match, especially who he called out. That looks like it'll be a match and a half. That, but yeah,
going away for a few days from that event, like from on that day when that happens. So I'm going to watch that, then go on holiday. So it's going to be nice to be able to watch it live. So, because I work weekends most of the time, I don't get to.
Yeah, like the I love how Ryan ruined SummerSlam for me. Like he ruined a bit, like one match, but it was like shit. I woke up because Ryan was up all night, so Ryan obviously must have been like, was you watching it or was you like getting tweets about it?
I think I watched bits of it while I wasn't doing much, like I was cleaning up and stuff, so I had it on in background noise. Like...
Yeah, so Ryan was sort of watched it. I was asleep because obviously Ryan was at work at like crack a dot, like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, so I was in bed. I woke up at like 7 o'clock and Nesbitt I said was, that match was shit for Bianca Belair, and I was like, something happened. I sort of knew as soon as he texted me that, I was like, oh, Becky showed up. Because like it's been rumoured for like the last 6 months she was coming back.
But best part is apparently she wasn't supposed to come back until October. Yeah,
Vince is phone going, yo, shit's at the fan. CM Punk's on AEW, get your ass back. Boom. I'll take care of the baby. Get your ass back in the and hung up. Yeah, it was a good. Like we'll talk about it. We'll talk about SummerSlam when we get to the WWE stuff. Because the thing is, we don't want to do WWE all the time with the podcast. We want to do different stuff and rotate through. We don't want to just focus on, because like WWE, there's only so much you could talk about with WWE. Obviously,
especially when we don't watch it as much as we used to.
Yeah, no, I don't watch AEW either. The only reason I know about AEW is because you tweeted me over. I'll probably watch it. You know what? If Daniel Bryan signs and the Fiend signs, I'll probably watch AEW. But like,
I'll be honest, I cancelled my network again because I only put it back on for a few pay-per-views. I'll be getting the AEW thing that you can get for like about £4.
Oh, I've not seen that. I'll have to look into. But no, literally, I cancelled WWE 2 months ago because like I think it was Hell in a Cell. I feel like it's Hell in a Cell. It was whenever Roman won and he shouldn't. No, I tell you what it was. It was WrestleMania. Straight after WrestleMania, because my payment went out, and then Hell in a Cell wasn't too far after that, was it? So I think I watched Hell in a Cell, and then I cancelled it. Because, like, after Hell in a Cell, I feel like, after WrestleMania, I wanted Edge to win, and that pissed me off. Because I feel like the storyline with Edge was so good that Edge should have won, or Daniel Bryan beat Roman, you know what I mean? Daniel should have won it because it was like, he's not won a belt in ages. And then Edge had made an epic return, wins the Royal Rumble from like fucking number 1 near enough, all the way to the finish, and then doesn't win the fucking belt. You know what I mean? Like, piss off. That's where by the way, this is definitely not going to kids. We was going to vary. I sweared more times, right? We're definitely not putting kids. But yeah, I feel like, unless we get a bleeper for when I swear. bleep. No, I feel like I've lost hope with WWE. Like, I'm a massive fan of WWE. I usually go. I've been to 3 live events in the last 5 years, maybe. And I've enjoyed going them, but like, I just feel like this last year too, WWE's really dropped its the ball, rather than pulling the winger out. But that's my personal opinion. I don't know about you, what you're thinking of it. We're going to cover it more in another podcast, but that's where I feel like we'll talk about it in depth why we're falling out of it. But I feel like that's the first episode tied up.
Yeah, that's about everything for this, I'm afraid, guys.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Very much appreciated. I know Ryan's the same. I know it's the first one and it's sort of short, maybe sweet. Hopefully the next one will probably be longer. We've got more subjects to talk about, but yeah, I just want to cover the basics this one and then carry on with the third one next one. But yeah, I'll sign out. That's me, David GSA Wrestling.
And it's me, Ryan Iconic Shows. Have a good day. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed it.
I'll see you all in a bit.
Did you enjoy our little chat? If so, why not drop a like? And if you want to see more, why not hit the subscribe button?